Hey guys, this is Andrew with Ozbras. We're going to show you how to remove a handle on the, I guess, F-Series trucks. They're all pretty much the same. When we're doing PPF, we do this because if you have a handle in the way, you have to have a seam somewhere and it's going to be open on the sides. It's not ideal. Whereas if you can get the handle out of the way, it's full coverage. You don't see any line of the film. You don't have a cut here that's then just separated from going into that cup. Now we do things differently on this. We've done all possible options for this. We've done you take this door fully apart and you know, you go from there. It's pretty intricate, I would say, as far as if you're taking everything apart. So, and I'll explain what that is. So if you want to do full PPF or vinyl and you're like, okay, I need to get under this, I get that. This has a lot of pressure onto the actual paint. Putting PPF under there probably isn't a good idea. It will buckle up. So we leave this on. It's so tight, it's pushed down. You know, you got to clean it out as best as you can. But if you were to get this out, you would need to remove the mirror, and to remove that, you got to remove the whole door card. So you got to remove all these like 6mm and or 5mm bolts to get to that. Then you can remove the mirror. Yeah, you could remove the mirror, which then would allow you to be able to get this and remove this, or just get access to it. You can get access to this still and pull it down and whatnot. But as far as mirror removal, you'll need to do that. And then these do not come out easy. There's like clips behind. So there's a bolt here, but there's clips behind that you have to kind of somehow get to. We don't do that. It's way too difficult. It takes too much time. The rear doors, when you remove them, they come out clean. There's a little cap right here that's kind of a pain to get out, but it does come out. You just have to kind of maybe get like a little pry tool, soft pry tool, and kind of work at it. Or if you can get your fingers behind that, if you have enough, you know, strength, and you can kind of push past the pain, you can pull it out. So this is every door but the front doors. Front doors we do differently. Back doors we still keep this on. We still keep this on. The pattern is pretty dang good. If we have to trim it, we trim it. We're happy with the way that looks. If it's satin, we do have to work a little harder and adjust the pattern a little bit more, and you know, trim this so there's no gloss showing. This one's just going gloss thick film. So specifically this one too, we wouldn't want to go underneath this trim. It would fail. So getting the handle out, there is a little cover. You just pop that out, just like that. I put these somewhere. It's probably frowned upon. I put those in the door card. Then there's a little 5mm see that little guy, little sucker? So the idea behind this one is you have to pull the handle out and just start loosening. So as you're pulling the handle out, start loosening, keep loosening, and then you'll feel it just pop. Just like that. Now you do want to keep going. Keep going, because there's a little catch that if you don't keep going, the handle won't sit back into place. So in the opposite, so if you're installing this, what you do is you push this in, and like I said, if this isn't out all the way, there's a little ledge there that sticks and it can't sit past it, and then it becomes a pain, and you think you're in, and you start tightening it, and that catch grabs and pulls in, and the handle's still stuck out. So it's a big process to fix that. It's not that hard, it's just annoying. So loosening that till it pops out. Then what we do is we actually birth these handles. So I'll give you guys a little trick for us. We do not take this handle out from here. If you were to, it's time consuming. So we can get the same result without having to spend 10, 30 minutes maybe taking off and putting back on this handle. So what we'll do is we'll leave it like this, and we'll clean all the grease off, and you got to put grease back on, or maybe if you have some grease, put some grease back on when you put it back in. We clean the grease off the handles. We leave this connected. We don't really like to there's not a lot of wiggle room. This wire is very short, so that's why you have to take the door card off to get to that wire, because it is so short. It's not enough to like let it dangle or whatnot. So we'll usually kind of keep it in, and what we do is we plot the door, then we delete this cutout, we delete any sort of like relief that it would have here, and we keep a rectangle around here, and we make it just a little bit smaller than what it is. So maybe like a 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch smaller. Then, being that everything is clean, you got to clean it thoroughly. you can then position it and get it around that hole. When you're putting it on the door, you can get it around this perfectly, and everything else lines up, and you have a little bit of play. You'll have to trim that up, make it clean. But that's what we do. And I will try to show you how to remove this without, so like I said, you can sometimes get your fingers behind here. It kind of hurts, but you can push past that pain. Sometimes it's a little trickier than others. You have a little pry tool. So you should probably, like, what you probably should do is get some tape. Do you have any, like, I might have some. Yeah, I got it. I'll use this one. So what I'll do is I'll kind of get some tape, and I'll probably do a few. It's going to be hitting this ridge, so I want to just do a few to protect it. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have the strength. I couldn't push past the pain to get this one. I feel like the plastic ones are a little easier. This metal one, it looks so close, but it is not. So if I can kind of hold that side where it is, there you go. And that just as I took it out, it just pushes back in. I don't know what holds it in. I really don't, but it grabs in there pretty good. The other ones are like that, but just caps. They don't have all this accessory. It's just a cap that comes off easy. But once you remove that, you won't have a hole here. You'll have to trim that. But that kind of leaves us with, you know, a door that we don't have to take the whole door card apart. The install is no different. If you clean it well, is no different than actually taking off the handle, removing that door card and whatnot. We still have adjustments made to where we can kind of get close to this rubber. These rubbers move. When the window hits it, opens and closes, they move. I don't like going underneath these as much because it will continuously push and pull away from that edge, which will cause the film to fail. So I kind of have a reasonable distance from there. You know, what I'll do is I'll usually kind of push up to see where when the window opens and closes especially, you can kind of see it move. So I'll kind of see, okay, well, it has a little bit of a play, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch to a 32nd of an inch. I'll kind of keep that gap away from there. Other than that, it allows us to be able to start here and work out, and then still have wrap on the front, back, top, bottom. So, yeah.
How do you get this thing up?
You don't.
You leave it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come on, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You leave it. You leave it, and it's called birthing. You have a hole in the film,
and then you put it in
and
there.
you kind of feed it through there, and that's where you start.
Yeah, I didn't know what birthing meant.
Oh yeah, birthing. I should explain noob terms.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to clarify, and I have missed it on a few points. You do have to trim on the vehicle. You do have to trim on the film that's on the vehicle. You are not trimming on the paint. You are not hitting the paint. And this is why it's important and crucial to find an installer, if you're just a consumer watching this video, to find an installer that is skilled and not just is able to buy film and install it. You are scoring the film and tearing it along the score line. You are not cutting through it. I can't say that loud enough, because if you're cutting through it, you're cutting the paint. So in this case, we're gonna be trimming up, we're gonna be making cuts along this. Maybe the line is a little off and I gotta trim that by hand. I am trimming, I am scoring the top, just like cutting glass. When you cut glass, you're not cutting all the way through it. You're scoring it, and then it's breaking along those cut line, or that cut score area. Same thing with the film. So, yep, that's that. I'm sure there'll be video and footage of us actually installing this door, which will be pretty cool.